Holla, what's up?
Up, Anthony Hamilton, my celebrity life. GeHolla.
Shout out to Ge Holla, reaching 1 million listeners on his podcast, My Celebrity Life, resetting the bar.
What's up, G Holla? This your boy Genuine. Shout out to you.
Y'all, this Master P, and shout out to Ge Holla of My Celebrity Life, the show.
Ge Holla, check this. I know we didn't get to speak at the spot that we was at together, but look, man, keep going, keep doing your thing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? We got the coolest of the cool, the smoothest of the smooth. This young man out here. For those of you who know who knows. What they say now? If you know, you know. But if you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Sir, Uncle Ray.
I'm doing great. And what you just said, I did a show in Atlanta a couple of years ago with a guy named Repo. It was a 420 show. And the MC, when it was time for me to go in, he said the same thing. My Uncle, your, and everybody's Uncle Ray. I don't know all about that legend part, but we can hang for sure. San Francisco, California. Earlier in my life, there was a guy by the name of Curtis Mayfield who, his songwriting and the ability to get across a message was a big thing for me. But before that, I was singing in my father's church choir. And we did a lot of what they call in gospel singing today. But the church that I grew up in didn't have instrumental music. And so we had to learn how to sing on pitch and on key. So my earliest influence, just to tell you the truth, was my dad. He was a great bass singer. And so he really taught his children. There was 17 of us in the Coates family. My mother and father had 17 kids. And so we all did a little bit of singing from the time, like I was 6 years old. And, 15 years old, I was chosen by a local group called the Performers to sing as a bass singer in their group. And so, yeah, my earliest really that I remember deeply is Curtis Mayfield. Oh man, he had a song with the impressions called See Me. And it was just so simple and so profound. And the three of us guys, we would sing that song until the wheels fell off, So yeah, my earliest influences. Hey, that'll be a great one. And I did actually, when I was 15 years old and we had formed our little group, we snuck in to see the Temptations at the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco. And while we were standing, since we snuck in, we didn't have seats. So we had to stand there. We were on the front row and we were singing right along with them. And this young lady turned out to be Martha Reeves, put her head around the corner and crooked her finger and said, "Come here." And she snuck me backstage. And I knew then that I already knew I wanted to sing, so we were doing talent shows and all that, and always knew I wanted to perform on stage for myself and for music and basically for the girls. Woo! That was where it really struck home at was I wasn't very athletic in school, in high school. But all of the athletic guys, they were invited to all the parties and all that. So it was a way for us to get invited to the parties and to get to know the females in the neighborhoods and all that. So it was a wonderful time. Definitely. Ge Holla. Anyway, it's nice to meet you, man.
You too,
Nice
my
to
brother.
meet you.
You
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, Joe is doing a wonderful job out here, with me, and I really appreciate him. So I want to give a shout out to him. And also, what really got me started recording was a man by the name of Bill Withers, who by this time, about 18, 19, and by this time, we had a little group. And what we used to do was we used to play, we had a band, and we used to play in all of the local nightclubs and everything. I don't know if you can see that. Wrapped up. This is actually the first recording that we did as my group by that time was called Cordial. And Bill Withers actually ran into me at a 49er football game and asked me if I had a group, if I had a band, and I said, yeah. And he gave me a card and he said, well, when y'all get some original material, give me a call. And so he actually uh, paid for everything. He paid for everything, and we recorded our LP, as it were, and put that out. And that really was the start of me recording, in San Francisco. That really was the start. So I basically have been writing music myself since I was like, oh man, about 17. Me and the guitar player Danny, we would get in his room and we would just write songs and take them to rehearsal. I'm in a place right now where they're actually getting ready to do some blow torching and stuff, and they're gonna be making a little noise. And there's no way for me to avoid that right now. Besides Funky $40, which by the way, I didn't write that song. I had written a song for one of the Temptations. His name was Barrington Scott, Bo Henderson. And he asked me if he could sing this song called Your Thoughts Turn to Me. And he sung the heck out of that song. That was one of the only songs that I believe that if you went and listened to anything, that was the one I wrote for him. Then I wrote a couple of songs. I wrote a song for a young lady by the name of Carla Lawrence called Evidence of Love. And that she sounded really great on that. I wrote a song for Lynn Walton Coles, who is she's a female singer for the Platters. So out of my songs that I sing, there's just so many. I've written over like 160 songs, and they're all on every platform. But my favorite is called "A Wish Is Just a Feather." People might have heard of that one, but Funky $40 is my flagship right now. Funky $40 is more than $40. Funky $40 is those dollars that people go the extra mile to get, not honestly. $40 is, and I got $40 in my pocket. Hey, bro, can you loan me $40? That's $40. Funky $40 is, you know what? I can't pay my car note this month. How much is your car note? $323. You know what I mean? That's funky $40. Or I can't pay my phone bill. How much is your phone bill? It's $75. That's funky $40. That's the $40 that I say like this. Get away from it. Get away from it. When you start hearing about that funky $40, it's time to back up. You know. See, so it's a big difference to me. And like I say, actually, I didn't write that song. there's a young man by the name of Mosey MD. His name is Lauren Maurice Stewart. He wrote for Morris Day and the Times. He wrote for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Uh, Tupac actually, he wrote the soundtrack for one of Tupac's movies. So he's been around, and he heard some things that I did, and so one of my consultants, uh, Keith Klizark, called me up and he said, "Man, I got a guy that got a song that he wants you to hear, Ray." And so I said, "Cool." So he hooked me up with Mo, and Mo said, "Just talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Tell me like what we're doing now." And as I was talking, he said, "Well, I'm recording your voice." He said, "Because I want to write something that fits your voice." And it was foundational when he came back with Funky $40. Of course, I added the bass. Well, I added some bass lines and some horns on there, and so his wife actually is one that gave him the title. Because while we were talking about some things that I had been through, and I didn't know that she was going to codify all that into the funky $40. Raymond Coates, Coats, into Google, it might be the first thing that pop up. And if you click on my blue name there, it'll take you to my website, which has my EPK and all of that on it. And also on Instagram, it's like Coates.Raymond. It's Coates.Raymond. So I can be booked from that, but I do have a booking site, and it's called Uncle hyphen, wait a minute, Uncle hyphen Ray hyphen booking hyphen site.com. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. It is not much, but saying it on the phone like this makes it harder for people to get to it. But one more time, if you don't mind, it's Uncle hyphen Ray hyphen booking hyphen site.com. Know me without you. And that's the big thing. There was a thought that always popped in my mind, and it's relationships. You can, I mean, there's a lot of people that understand things about music, like technical things. But if you don't have a relationship, let me just say like this: if people don't like you, it's a lot tougher for you to get somewhere where you need to go. And to me, relationships have sustained me. Somebody asked me, all the time you've been singing and the places you've been, why haven't you quit? Why haven't you quit? And I'm understanding that. Like, for instance, I see Eddie Levert on stage performing, sitting in a chair. And why hasn't he quit? Because he's got some relationships that he's built over the years, like his MD, his drummer, his bass player, his wife, his background singers. Those are relationships, and those people do it because they love him. So it's a big thing with me with relationships. Just being able to sustain what I love to do through relationships. And the reason that I write music, because I love being on stage. I love that's my living room. I went to India Irie show, and she had the stage made up like a living room. Sat down on the couch and sang. She went behind the little counter and sang. And I was like, that's what I like, to welcome people into my living room, welcome them into my home when I'm on stage. That's my home, you know.
No, and that's real, Unc, because what you're doing now, you welcome us into your home as you sit down and interview and give us some good games, some good wisdom, some life stories, some lessons that you've been through in yourself. And we honored to be there, man. You have a real true spirit, like I was saying earlier, of the black man in America, man. This is you embody all those great principles, all those great lessons, all those great wisdom that when we can't go nowhere else, especially as brothers, we can always go talk to the Unc, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna break the game down to us and give it to us straight. And therefore, like we're gonna be laced with game. So from there, we gonna be seasoned. So I appreciate brothers like yourself, man. I really do.
Man, let's play some dominoes. That's what I'm talking about. um, I like that. I just was thinking about family reunions. And like I said, I have 16 brothers and sisters. Well, we had growing up. A lot of them are passed now, but they have a lot of children. So I have, I don't even know how many nephews and nieces I have.
Yeah.
And they kept saying to me, Uncle Raymond, when you gonna name one of your CDs after us? When you gonna dedicate it to us? So my last my last vinyl that I did, my last 13 songs, the vinyl was named Uncle Ray's Project. So when you said that about wisdom, I like to, man, I like to think of growing up and learning some things, and being able to say a few things that benefit other people, especially my nephews and nieces. So where you from, may I ask?
From Atlanta.
Oh, so you know the underground.
Yeah, man.
That's where we did the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I opened up for a guy named Lil Duval. And,
Yes,
and
comedian.
yeah, he's a comedian, but he does more than as usually we all are. We're more talented than what we call our niche. We do more things, and he's a good singer too. He's not
Did
just a comedian. You
did he have
know,
that song "Smile" with Snoop? Smile. Yeah, yeah, that's him.
yeah, he's much more. And yeah, in Atlanta, I have people in Atlanta. My brother lived in Covington for many years, and my nieces, they live in, what is that little part? Decatur.
Yeah, Decatur
They
West
live in
Raider.
they live in Decatur, and it just, I was down there. Matter of fact, one of the songs that I wrote that's kind of popular is called U.S. Tariffs. And one of my nieces, one that lives in Decatur, gave me the melody. She read the lyrics and she started singing U.S. tariffs, and it causes ways of change. Large and small businesses are all enraged. And she starts singing, and the song came out real good. So I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta. I ran into another one of your friends from Atlanta. He was out here uh, by the name of Eddie Griffin.
Yeah,
He was out here at Tommy T's, and me and him sat up in the room and chopped it up, and he loves Atlanta too. He may be there right now. So you listening? What's up? What's up? So,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the Mecca land right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it
After,
is.
you
It's
know,
it's different. It's different.
it is.
I was really admired Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell you why. Mostly every business that I went into, there was young black people working. Mostly every business, and it was just amazing to me, to go into places and where I'm from, I mean, we have black folks that are doing a lot of wonderful things too. But out there it was just so innovating to see all of the young black people doing this and doing that. And it was just I loved Atlanta being there. I loved Atlanta. Definitely. Fred moved down there. My brother moved, and it was definitely reasonable to live there. Man, he bought a house on a lake with beavers in it and fish in Covington.
Mhm.
$800 a month.
Yeah.
Big house, with a basement, with a big entertainment center. Yeah, it was wonderful. I have a wonderful opportunity and have had to travel to a lot of different places. And everything to me was like codified in Atlanta, in that that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. I wrote a song called You're Not a Bad Dad because you never see the news and like that giving young black men the kudos, the things that they deserve, the positive things that they're doing. So that's what I saw in Atlanta. But I mean, I see it everywhere, but on a mass scale, that was just it was just amazing. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go home when it was time to leave. We was like, well, we gotta go to the airport. We gotta be there 2 hours ahead of time, but we didn't have to because all of the young black people working in the airport, they got us through every line so quickly. The courtesy was, man, I'm telling you, it's just wonderful. Oh, Peebo Bryson, he was one of my idols, and he didn't used to be that way. When I was about 20, my band Cordial, we were doing a show at the Oakland Coliseum one day. We didn't open for him, but we were one of the bands that preceded him on stage. And it was just about the time that he was getting ready to go on stage. His band was setting up and everything, and they did their little sound check. And he was getting ready to step up to the mic, and a fight broke out in center field. And you could see the dust swirling where they were fighting. And he was standing there, he didn't say nothing. Well, then there was a couple of shots fired. Pow, pow. And I'm talking about everybody scattered. I went to the side of the stage. All the other musicians started running. Peebo stepped up to the microphone and he started talking. He said, hey, hold on, hold on. And I forget the words that he used, but it quieted down. Everybody got nice and quiet. And as he was talking, the band could see that everything was quieting down, and his band started coming back up on stage. Shoot, that brother started singing a cappella. You hear me? He started singing a cappella, and he was singing, and the band started playing. They caught up with him and started playing. From then on, the festival he was my idol at that point because he didn't run. And I was surprised actually to see it. Him get up and just grab the mic and start talking. in Oakland. Oaktown can be tough. It's real. It's real, but it can be tough. It's like you don't play. And he didn't have no fear or nothing. He just started. And that's my Peebo Bryson story. Ooh, you know what? This AI thing. I want to tell the young people, get that AI. Don't play around. You can do anything you want to do if you keep your mind clear and learn that AI. Learn how to talk to it. Learn how to tell it what you want because you are still real. Of course, I don't use AI in my music. I got a band, Tony Saunders, Wes Yee, Butch Coles, Dante Roberson. These people put my music together for me. They really work. So that's one area I don't use AI in. But making flyers, doing websites, it's a way. It's a way. So keep your brain clear. You can do anything you want long as your brain is clear. All right? So it ain't too much music. Music is wonderful. Y'all keep on. Look, I'm just talking so much. Ge Holla, I was thinking of funky $40. You don't want to holler. All you want is a funky $40. Don't want to be bothered. You know, that's all she wanted was $40. I mean, she wanted more than that, but I codified it down to funky 40. So thank you very much, Ge Holla. Appreciate you. Joe Mason. Oh, wow. I cannot forget Jay King. Jay King from KDEE 97.5. Love you, bro. You know, he's Club Nouveau.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jay King, the leader of Club Nouveau. So I gotta give him a shout out because he is really one that heard the song and said, man, Ray, he said, you right in your wheelhouse now, bro. And I appreciate him. So everybody, nice to talk with you guys. Ge Holla, nice to meet you, my man. Been pleasurable.